Welcome to Maker Conversations. I'm your host, Tiff from NIGHTCARVER Designs, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different than they normally are. I have some returning guests on, so I have Marylou from Made by Marylou and Alma from Pink Soul Studios, and I finally got Stephanie from Uncommon Outpost to come on the show, kind of under a false premise of us just all hanging out interviewing each other. I really wanted to spend some time getting to know her a little bit more. So we asked a few questions to Stephanie before we move on to talking about brands, because that is one topic she asked for me to bring up, was the challenge of working with brands and presenting yourself to a brand. So you're going to hear me kind of go through and highlight each one of the guests of what I would use as an angle if I was them approaching brands. So I really hope you enjoy this. And if you want us to talk about a future topic on the show, let me know, because they're going to be coming back over and over throughout the year. We're going to be doing some Workbench Con highlights because we're all on the advisory board. So we thought it would be a ton of fun to come here and share what we can as things are developing throughout the year. And then we're also going to be touching on subjects that are important to the maker world. So you find folks that are listening. So if you have topics that you want me to talk about, you can go ahead and just DM me on Maker Conversations or at NIGHTCARVER Designs and provide me with some topics, and I'll be just writing those down and bringing them up as we continue to record. If you want to support the show because you're extra awesome and you want to make my day, head on over to patreon.com/makerconversations. There are 4 different tiers of support, and I currently only have one VIP, Mr. Ricky TV, who is just amazing. So thank you for that support. But there are also 3 other levels as low as $3 to support the show. So that's Maker Conversations on patreon.com. All right, guys, let's get on with the show.
Seriously, right. If there was ever a brand I wanted to embass, other than like the ones I'm currently wearing, Costco.
I can see you as a forklift operator, just zooming around Costco.
You know I have a forklift license.
A woman of many talents.
And also, I'm really disappointed that Marylou isn't like lounged out, sprawled on her like pay me like your French girls couch like she was for the last one of these podcasts. That's kind of the reason I'm here.
Oh, okay. I like it. Make her pose.
Which one was that? Where she couldn't move?
Yes,
yeah, where she was wearing the plastic outfit.
Do I need to tilt you guys down?
Yeah. We need a better view.
Get it.
Stephanie, I'm with you though. The whole episode, I had no clue that she was not trying to move. Like, I didn't get it until the end. I was like,
I almost thought she was just like that was a screensaver. Is there a video? No. Though there is video of this that goes out to the world, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Listen, we're not going to interview you if it makes you uncomfortable.
No,
so
it's fine. What you want to know? I'll tell you everything.
Well, I want to know if you've been like making since you were a child, because I feel like you have. I feel like you're somebody who's just been creative your whole life.
I've been making since I was a child, mostly a mess. Well, that hasn't changed though.
Were you like taking things apart when you were little, or were you like painting and drawing? Because or all
of the things. Yeah. All of that. I took so many things apart and sometimes put them back together too. Not always.
Yeah. I didn't think you put them all back together, to be honest.
Well, a lot of times I took stuff apart because I wanted to use its guts for something else.
So what was that like influence, or where was that influence coming from? Like just wanting to get into both art, and it sounds like curiosity. Like it sounds like you're just a very curious person. So
yeah, I feel like that counts. Yeah, I just like to see if I can do stuff. I'm like, is this possible? Let's find out. And then I get really invested in it. And I'm not the kind of person who cuts their losses very easily.
No, you go for it.
I don't. In like all aspects of life, which has been not very great for me, like my career and financially. But yeah, I don't cut my losses easily. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to make this work. I'm already invested. And so
it's impressive. It's impressive how you like go all in.
Yes, probably shouldn't do that as much, but
no, it's like whatever. My favorite quality about you. Like when you took apart your whole car, I was
that
just
was
like
bad. That was a really bad
freaking
idea.
out though for you.
I
You
I
had
don't think that was a bad
everything.
idea. The
No.
It's a bad idea to
driving while
do,
you're
like-
sitting on a bucket, that probably was a bad idea.
Oh, that was fine. What the problem was that I took my car apart like a week before I was supposed to go on a road trip.
Oh, geez.
And then it didn't go back together as quickly as I had imagined that it would. And I've taken cars apart before, but the last time I like completely gutted a car, I had 3 cars. And so there was another one that I could drive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now I have just the one. And yeah, I don't recommend taking apart your only mode of transportation. I only Ubered to work once though. And then the next day I just sat on the bucket to drive. And like, it was fine. It was fine.
Growing up,
in
were other
public.
people like you, like just like tinkerers and stuff, or were you just like the oddball who'd love to have fun and do these kind of things?
Oh, I was the weird kid. No, absolutely. For sure.
But like your like family didn't do anything like that either.
Oh no, my family is
That's what I
definitely
mean. Yeah,
oh, I thought you just meant in general. Was
yeah.
a weird kid. Yes.
No. I didn't know if you were
Yes,
the
I
odd
was.
one out because I tend to be that in my family.
My dad is a tinkerer and he's very handy. My mom's a crafter. I don't know. My family just does a lot of stuff themselves. And so I didn't realize that everyone's family didn't do that. But like my
Mm.
sister doesn't. She is really good at paying people to do stuff for her. She's really good at it. I'm not good at that.
Me neither. I'm
I
not great
didn't
at
know
that
you
either.
had a sister.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
Just the one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you
but
guys close in age?
She is my little baby sister. She is about to turn 36. So yes, we're close.
Hmm. Where's she
ish.
at?
She's in Virginia.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. She's living her best life.
All right. What's her name?
Her name's Emily.
Shout out Emily.
Yeah.
Shout out Emily.
She's gonna listen to this now. I'm gonna tell her she got shouted out. She'll be so
Yeah,
excited.
she's gonna have to.
Shout out baby sister.
Her and I are like complete opposites.
Oh yeah.
Like completely. Like when growing up, I wanted to be a farmer or a hairdresser or a cowboy when I grew up. And I went through a phase where I like only wore overalls and dressed like a cowboy when I was like 7. My sister refused to wear pants until the 7th grade. Like she only wore dresses. She didn't even wear pajama pants. She wore nightgowns. Like, and every like bows, everything she had was pink. And I was like, I'm not having it. And so everything we had was like pink and purple. And like there's so many pictures of us in like smocked, good old Southern smocked dresses, like big poofy sleeves, and mine's purple and hers is pink. And every year for way longer than is socially acceptable.
Hmm.
All right, now we are going to transition into talking about brands and how I approach and work with them for myself. But before we do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to the early bird tickets going on sale for Workbench Con on April 1st. Now, they're going to last the entire month of April until the 28th. This is going to be the absolute cheapest that you are going to be getting your Workbench Con tickets for this year. So if you have any questions, let me know. But I'm just going to tell you this now as somebody who is on the inside of planning that we are really, really working on getting more sponsors to join us and adding more activities for you all so that way you can have some fun on-site entertainment, which was a huge hit this year. People gave us amazing feedback on the poker and all the games and the music. So thank you for everybody who has submitted their feedback. And, I just want to give a quick shout out to that because I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see everybody again and show them what we've planned. All right, let's go. Let's talk about brands. I put on my little confident Tiffany when I reach out to brands, like when I approach them for things. I know you want to talk about this, Stephanie, too. It's like you have to be the most confident version of yourself when you're reaching out to people. So I have that little personality that comes out. No? I had to make a media kit and I was like, this is so weird. But I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it. Got to brag about yourself.
I'm not very good at that.
Me neither.
I don't know how to talk about myself.
Me neither.
Me
They're like,
neither.
what do you do?
I can
And
brag
I'm
about my
like,
friends.
That's
Oh,
why I
that's
chose to
easy.
do
Yes.
the bad example for the newbie meetup. I was like, I'll be the person who doesn't know how to talk to the brands because I still don't know how to talk to the brands.
I don't either.
No?
No, the only brand deals and relationships I have are because like I literally met the people and they were like, man, she is so charming. I'm like, I know, right? And then 3 years later, I'm like, so I've been friends for like a really long time. It'd be really cool if like the stuff and the things and like I already use your stuff and if like maybe you wanted me to tussle it. And they're like, oh yeah, you should do that. Like, okay, thanks. It's a long con.
So you gotta sell yourself. You gotta talk about what you do, the things that you've dived into and what you're planning to dive into in the future. Like that's how I go about it. Like here I am. This is like I'm Tiffany. I always talk about how I've been in marketing for 20 years because that is a good selling point for me because I've worked with marketing and advertising for 20 years. So they know that like I know how to be out there and talk to people, and I've dealt with business for a long time. So like that's kind of like one of the things I lead with. So like try to find like what your strong point is from your life and kind of like express that like Alma, you've been doing this for how many years now? Like
I don't even remember.
You don't remember when you
As
started?
I don't, like, it's really bad. Well, I guess I could just say as old as my son is, right? Like, so 9 years.
Okay, that's a selling point though. Like
Yeah.
you have consistently been showing your face on here and sharing your skills and making things for people for so many years. You've created a business where you're selling products to makers. You found little gaps that you've been filling for years. Like that's a talking point. And now like people trust you. So when you're recommending that product, people have invested value in you and they're going to come and they're going to trust that
Good.
you know what you're talking about. Like
That's
that's your
good.
selling point. You know what I mean? Like you've been doing this for so long that people have invested in you. Like I'm sure people have your Avid and CNC or they're trying to have that, like that's a goal for them.
Right.
They're seeing the equipment that you use, that wall control. I mean, the Festool sign, I mean, that's you. How many people are using Festool because of you? Because Alma thinks it's awesome. So obviously it is. Like those are
Yeah.
things that you can highlight about yourself. If I
I
was
have
very
started
new,
to like I
What'd you say?
started keeping the receipts for like people that ask me. Like that's another thing I think that I was told.
What's
So like
that?
if somebody asks you like, about your carving bits, right? And
Mhm.
you recommend them to you, like you keep those receipts of
Yeah.
like people that recommended things and like screenshot it or whatever,
I should.
or
I don't do that.
that you've recommended and that
Mhm.
they've said like, oh, I bought this because of, whatever. Cause I have gotten
You're
that
right.
with
I
Festool.
should do that.
I started doing that now because, you're right. Like I have to present that to them and say
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
they need to start paying me for real.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I
Like I don't
never
get
thought
paid
about that
for a lot of stuff.
screenshotting. I recommend stuff to people all the time.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna start
So you
doing that,
just
Alma. I like that.
Thank
Just have it
you.
in a folder.
keep those receipts, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like if they're not investing in you and like you're doing a new product launch video for them for a tool, now it's time to say like, okay, this has been great. I love it. I actually don't need like more tools. I don't know if you do. I mean, we all do. But like now I'd like to get paid for. So here is my media kit and here's the options that we can do. Let me know if any of these work for you or if you want to make a custom plan, we can totally do that. Like, just kind of present it. And like when they go and reach out to you, I'm going to start saying this now too to a few people, like not everybody, because I don't mind free tools from people, but like, what is your budget? Like, that's just something to bring up because then they
Yeah.
understand like now you're ready to get paid because you've invested so much with them.
Yeah. That's
You write my
yeah,
media kit?
As Lizzie says in the background, though, pay me, bitches. Seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Will you write mine, please?
Yeah, Steph.
Really?
Absolutely. I could help you.
No, I
I
want you to
started a
do the whole
media
thing.
I started a media kit,
I
but
can
I'm
give you
not,
the
it's not
template I
done.
just did.
No, but like I want you to write the nice things about me that I would never say about myself.
For you, honestly, it's your diversity with what you do because you're capable
Yeah.
of so much and you're not like afraid to try something new. So if it's something that you've never done before, like that shouldn't be like a stopping point for them. Like, oh, you've never used this tool before. No, but like I'm gonna learn it. So like that's something that I do is like I like to experiment with things and share my honest feedback about it. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where I would go with that.
Yeah. And you have record of all that, right? Like you have record of like that you could say of saying like, oh, I never tried whatever. They don't have to know exactly,
We
right?
can
I've
just
never
share
tried
our old
I've
posts.
like
literally
epoxy.
forgotten like 3/4 of the stuff that I've made. I've forgotten all about it.
But I mean,
I
like
should, like,
you,
write
like
down
your
stuff that
cement
I
thing,
make.
right? Like your like the cement dress. You can be like, I didn't know
Oh, yeah, I
about
forgot about
cement,
that.
right?
That's what I
I
meant.
didn't know
I
about
think.
epoxy, and I learned about that. I didn't know about tearing a car apart, and I did that. I'm, you know, like there's like a whole list that you can say, like,
Yep.
I'm not trained in any of this stuff, but
I'm
I mean,
literally writing a
I
pitch
don't know how to do the
tomorrow.
job that I do for work, but I do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
like-
There you go.
And you're tied to the maker community. I would also highlight that for you because a lot of people know you and they trust you. Again, same thing with Alma. So like they're going to trust what you're going to say as well. You have the same thing that all of us have. We all are truly invested in the community. So people trust and value you.
They trust us because they know we're not getting paid.
Well, exactly though. You're giving your honest feedback.
But that's fine too. Like to to an extent, we're honest about that, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like that's why people trust me when they want to talk about festival. They know like most of the time I'm not getting paid, and when I am, I say that. Like when I'm getting a free tool, I've said that when they've sent me somewhere or whatever. Same with Carhartt, right? Like
Mhm.
it's all like it. You build that because you are being honest. We are not the makers that just put it on there and say like you should buy this and I love this one product and like never mention that they actually got paid by them. There's a lot of people that still do that. I know.
It pisses me off a lot. Like I've bought stuff because I've seen like 3 or 4 of my friends using it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, if 3 people that I know
They all trust
that I'm
it.
friends with all like this thing, it's probably good, right? No. Like,
Yeah.
you dirty cheaters.
What was it?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you while we're recording. Because if they want to pay me, hell yeah, I'll lie about it. I would never. I wouldn't. I actually got something for free and I never did a review of it because I didn't want to leave a bad review and I wasn't going to leave a good review.
Yeah.
And I emailed them and I was
that.
like, I'm sorry I didn't review your product, but trust me, it's
You
better
get
than I
one.
didn't.
I get that.
I'm not going to tell
What
people
about
to
Ma-
buy it.
what
I'm
about
not going to tell
Marylou?
people not to buy it,
I was
but I'm
gonna
not
say-
going
Marylou's
to tell them
next.
to buy it.
No, she is next.
Mary Lou's next. Mary Lou's next. Go Tiff.
How much can we make Mary Lou blush?
I'm already red.
In Mary Lou's
Tasty.
case, kind of how I always mention my marketing, for her, I would mention about being like someone who went to art school, like who was a film major. Like I would talk about aesthetics, style, and her favorite topic, lighting. And, I would really get into that about how you create moods and how you can transform something that's so simple into being something so elegant and engaging. Like that would be my selling point for you. Because yours is honestly, it's about taking something that is like worthless looking and making it magical. Because that's what you do.
Yes. It's a vibe. It's a
Mhm.
vibe.
But yeah, because if say she wanted wall control and she was pitching you for it, which I mean, she did that actually. She showed us her space, she showed us her needs, and now we're seeing this content coming out from that, and you're seeing all this beautiful wall control getting highlighted every day, which I'm sure Steph makes you smile every morning.
Every morning.
Every morning because she's been posting consistently.
Can only
Mainly
hope to
because
make
my
you
face is
smile.
on it. I'm just kidding. No,
That
no,
Saburrtooth post, like people were just like in awe of it.
Aw.
I
So
think
much
too,
good feedback.
I would agree. Like you could call it like creating a vibe for somebody's product.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I can market the hell out of this as a vibe, right? Like, and it's very clear that that's what you're doing and that it is like your style. And it's like Tiff said, it's a great style. Moody and sexy, dark, like
No, Saburrtooth
it's
absolutely loved
different
her video.
than
They
what you
want it.
normally see. Yeah, and it's different
Yeah.
than what you normally see
Mhm.
on Instagram.
Can you
Have a
come vibe?
chance.
Like, I feel like everybody needs to be like Mary Lou vibes. Like, I want, like, can you just come relight all of our
No, you should do.
all
You
of
should
our
do.
everythings?
Listen, this beautiful lady has offered to take video for me for when I have my products finally. which I am stoked to see that happen one day. Like, send her a box of shit and like, make it look nice, please.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
Right? One day.
It's a vibe, man. It's a
you
vibe.
guys come out to me. Come out to my new shop that I'm setting up, and I'll take all the juicy slow-mo cool videos of you in my shop
Where you
like
can
that.
control the lighting.
where I can control. Yeah, some of this Workbench Con footage, I'm like, why? Why is it so ugly in there? Like, it makes
So
me
you're saying
so
next
mad.
year for Workbench Con, you need like one of those guys
She's gonna
with
have my
the-
husband carrying lights with us.
with the big
Hey, he wants to do
softbox
something. He would
circle
love it.
thing.
There's
He's like,
like-
where are we going?
Load them up full of battery packs and like standing there like a
Literally,
Like
Mike would love it. Like, just to have a task to do would be like a thrill for him.
I would have given Mike so many jobs if he had told me.
Oh, he likes to be, he honestly, he likes to be working.
Mike, we're gonna talk later.
He's upstairs probably going like, shut the fuck up.
Do you want to build like 43 walls for me at Maker Camp?
Well, like, he's not a builder, but
Mike, do you want to hold the nails while I build 43 walls?
totally,
for
he would
me?
totally assist. That's all. I love being
Is he
like the
coming?
little
Is he coming to
bitch.
Maker Camp?
No.
Oh, he's not coming. to
Oh,
Maker Camp.
cool. So we're kicking him and Marylou
I
out
understand
of our friend
why.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's not
come
into
on.
it. He's not into that. Plus, I'd be
That is
working
also
the
a
whole time.
vibe.
It would be boring
Just a
for him.
different vibe.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if you went to my tent at all. No, wait, you carved, right? Did you carve,
Yeah.
Alma?
Yeah,
I know.
carved.
I know you.
Oh, I thought you were talking
called
to me.
Well, I did not carve.
Okay.
We must be in different places on the screens because
Oh,
I keep
yes,
thinking you're
I'm
looking at
pointing
me
this
and you're
way.
looking at not me.
It's Alma. Sorry.
Tiff is right there.
Yeah, you're right there
Tiff
to
is
me
right
too,
there.
buddy.
You're
Oh,
down there.
that's-
No,
Stuff.
there's Tiff for me.
That's
Mary Lou's
funny.
this way.
Tiff is, or stuff.
Marylou's down there.
No, almost there.
So funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, my tent was like nonstop carving. Like, if he was there, it'd be so boring for him because he's not interested in learning any of the other stuff. Yes. It would not be worth it for the fire at night to hang out, you know?
Yeah. True that.
Understandable.
Yep.
Wait, why are you building so much at Maker Camp?
I like to party.
Are you going
got
with
that out with a straight face?
Are you going with wall control yet? Are you gonna have wall control there?
Yeah, I have to control walls.
More hooks,
Now
I'm gonna do
dealt
some
with.
rearranging, yeah.
I need more hooks too.
It's constant.
Mm-hmm.
It's constant. It's never
Mhm.
changing. Especially as I'm like unboxing things. Oh, gotta hang that. I thought I got so much wall control, like when it got delivered and stuff. Now I'm like, it's not enough.
I don't know. It's
Never
never
enough.
enough.
It's not enough. I need more.
Never enough.
Just made the commitment to put it in my kitchen. Like, because I don't have a lot of shelving. I don't really have like any storage other than like the stupid, poorly arranged IKEA shelves that are supposed to be, or drawers that are where cabinets should be in my kitchen. And I was like, all right, it's going to be long enough before I have a chance to redo this kitchen. I should just hang wall control on the wall. Like, it's going to be so long before I paint
What color?
everything white. All my stuff is white.
Gotcha. Keeps it neutral.
Not well, it's because that's the one that we have the most mess ups of, because when you're powder coating the white, you have to have so much more pigment to epoxy to make it
Yeah, like full
opaque.
coverage.
Yeah, so there's more white ones that are too thick than there are any other color, and so I only take the mess ups and then I get more to choose from.
Hey,
So,
it's a nice little perk.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
You deserve it after fixing that water heater so much.
You deserve it after fixing all the things that you fix all the
Mm.
time.
Well, I mean,
I feel
it's
like
kinda my
every
job.
Monday you're like, so this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I just started doing that. Like, I honestly didn't know if I was gonna like be allowed to talk about how stuff is broken.
I love it.
sometimes. But then I'm like, I've had to move so many times, like in the last couple years, and like I was doing so many other stuff. So I'm like, I wasn't making anything. So I'm like, either I talk about work or I'm not I don't have a presence online.
Clearly,
So
though,
just sometimes
Richard
talk about
wants
work.
it to be a little bit more connected. He started the whole Mr. Wall Storage account, you know?
Like I like have relationships with people that I've met because like their booth was next to my booth in the trade show, and like we became friends, and that's how I work with brands. And that's like
Yeah.
not a good advice for people to be like, go work for the company and get your paycheck for them, and it's like almost the same thing. Like, that's not how you work with brands.
Well, just like speaking from like Saburrtooth experience, they don't care about your following. They care about what you're making. Like if you have a small following, what we've been asking people to do is make us a collaborator, just so we know more people will see it.
That's
Because
smart.
Smart.
she gave a ton of free burrs to a guy who has 728 followers. But his
Was he
art,
making cool stuff?
super cool stuff.
But is he like a carver?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if you're like, oh, hey, yeah, I do carving, but you're going to have to scroll down 43 pages in my Instagram to the last one I carved.
Repost it. Repost that carve.
Share that. Yeah, exactly. Reshare that. But also, you're not pitching that you carved a long time ago. You have prior carving experience and you really want to get back into it again. And it would really help you get that started. And you've got this awesome
really
project.
Would. And I do. Have you seen my hairbrush? When I made a horsehair brush for the Fools with Tools treasure trade like a year or so ago.
I did watch that actually.
I made it for Brett from Skull and Spade. And
Love
so yeah, big fan. And like it's like a play on a brush that I had when I was a kid. It's called, like, my sister and my dad and I called it a people brush. And it's like a bench brush, but you only use it for brushing off people. Like it never touched like the dirt or the bench. Like it was people exclusively.
And it's like,
it was like a plastic version of that, and it hung next to the door. It's still hanging next to the door in the same spot in my dad's garage. But like I made a people brush for Brett, but I made it look like a spade.
That's cool.
And so I carved the handle part, and then the bottom was like horsehair. So I don't know what to do with the leftover epoxy until I got my like utility mat thing. Now I have a reason.
I got these like cat-shaped ice molds. And so every time I have leftover epoxy, I always put it in the ice molds. And recently, because you and me are constantly unboxing our life, I too unboxed these cats.
She's like, I can't wait to make you.
It's like a whole Ziploc full of cats.
I have a whole box over here of random ice molds. I have teeth ones. Like, why did I get teeth? Like, teeth ice molds are funny because, like, then it looks like there's dentures in the bottom of your, like, whiskey glass or whatever. But now I have, like, all these random teeth epoxies.
That's funny.
Oh, man. I'm so glad I'm not
You need
the
to
only
make
one.
some mustache ones for your Mustache Mondays.
I know. I need to bring Mustache Monday back. Ugh.
Make some
All
like
right.
on a stick, with the epoxy and then little
Yeah.
sticks.
Oh, you know I have mustaches on a stick already.
But I'm just saying.
They are made of clay, not epoxy. I'll make new ones.
My bad.
I'll do
I'm
better.
just saying,
I'll do
like,
better.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode. It was a ton of fun to record, and we will get better at not having to cut out 2/3 of the episode because, well, we are extremely comfortable with each other and tended to go off topic. So make sure that you're tuning in for that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/makerconversations is the way that you can do that. A huge thank you to Saburrtooth Power Carving for sponsoring this show. And I am excited that we are going to be at Maker Camp again, carving our little hearts out. So there's going to be some free carving, some projects, and who knows what will whip up. But we are starting to think about that now and plan it all out. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, make sure to do so and wear your PPE, friends. Bring your mask, bring your goggles, bring your hearing protection because Makers Camp is down and dirty. You're going to have a lot of fun. But if you don't bring the proper gear, you're going to be sad because wearing a thin paper mask is not going to give you the same kind of support that a respirator will. So make sure that you prepare ahead. All right, that's enough of my safety warnings. Thank you for listening for the show, and I'll see you next time.